Today on Softstellar Tech Briefs, we're walking through the staff augmentation process, what it is, how it benefits development teams, the stages involved, and the practices that help make it work. Traditional hiring practices barely fit the dynamic nature of development initiatives in the IT industry. Compared to the staff augmentation process, permanent hiring is far too intricate, entrenched, and enduring, leaving IT firms with little room to downsize or upsize their workforce. To get around that restriction, development teams turn to staff augmentation services and DevOps staff augmentation in particular as a flexible, temporary alternative for short-term projects. These services are provided by specialized staff augmentation providers who set up deliberate processes to evaluate candidates and integrate augmented staff into existing tech teams. Today, we'll look at the stages of that process, how they help development teams, and the best ways to put them into practice. What is staff augmentation? Staff augmentation is a workforce management strategy used in tech environments to bring in specialized expertise for the duration of a project without hiring permanently. These staffing solutions help high-tech enterprises efficiently expand their in-house teams to meet the fluctuating demands of software development. The augmentation process flow used by staffing companies helps streamline recruitment for skilled professionals while keeping the client's administrative responsibilities to a minimum. With this model, organizations can hire highly skilled developers and put them to work on project tasks right away. The benefits of staff augmentation: access to specialized skill sets. One of the primary advantages of staff augmentation in software development is the ability to bring in experience that may be missing in-house. Teams can employ professional programmers, analysts, and engineers to fill specific skill gaps for a defined period. The temporary nature of augmentation, for example, React Native staff augmentation, also supports remote work, which allows augmentation companies to hire competent talent from regions around the world. Cost efficiency. Businesses that need temporary talent without the overhead of full-time employees stand to gain a great deal from this approach. It reduces costs by removing the need for employee benefits, training expenses, or bonus payments. When a project is completed, the augmentation company compensates staff based on the terms of the pre-service contract. Because most engagements are remote, companies can also save on office space, equipment, and utilities, and put those funds toward other project needs. Greater project control. In many settings, outsourcing critical work can mean giving up oversight of a project's direction. With augmentation, businesses can retain control through the provider or a dedicated project manager. The provider helps get new people up to speed and manages correspondence with in-house teams, while the project manager acts as a liaison, monitoring progress and keeping development milestones aligned with company objectives. Newer perspectives. When software development happens in a vacuum, without influence from external team members, internal teams can fixate on one approach and overlook viable alternatives. Augmented staff can surface those blind spots. They arrive from diverse backgrounds and with varying experience that can inform innovation and better decisions. Accelerated project delivery. In today's fast-paced landscape, staying competitive depends on how quickly a company can scale its workforce as workloads change. Traditional recruitment is often too slow for that. Staff augmentation, by contrast, is built around flexible recruitment and integration, which makes it a strong fit for companies that need to stay agile and hit milestones on time. Services like Node.js dedicated team augmentation, for instance, help firms onboard developers quickly without sacrificing quality. Knowledge transfer. When augmented teams collaborate with internal teams, remote and in-house staff exchange ideas. Augmented professionals may bring approaches learned from other companies, leaving lasting value with the internal team. At the same time, they deepen their own understanding of the client's industry through daily interaction with in-house employees. The staff augmentation process. Although staff augmentation gives IT firms more control over operations, it also frees them from much of the cumbersome early-stage hiring work. When a tech firm approaches a third-party provider for talent, the vendor follows specific steps to deliver the best people in their network. Those steps typically include the following. Stage 1. Identification of staffing needs and skill gaps. Every development project is unique in its personnel and infrastructure requirements. A startup may need more programmers to support rapid, iterative development, while an established firm with a product already in market may need a balanced mix of programmers, designers, and testers to maintain quality and improve customer satisfaction. Before a staffing partner can find the right people, they must understand the project's full scope. That often means close contact with project managers to clarify objectives and resource needs. Those foundational details are essential for targeted talent acquisition. Stage 2. Talent sourcing. Next, the staff augmentation provider finds and screens development experts based on the client's skill requirements. They tap into their network and industry connections to identify candidates with the right experience and qualifications. Vetting goes beyond interviews and CV reviews to include skill assessments and background checks, with the aim of presenting only suitable, experienced candidates. If those professionals meet the client's conditions, the provider moves to the next phase. For projects involving .NET frameworks, for example, a .NET dedicated team is often a strong option, giving companies professionals already vetted for quality and efficiency. Stage 3. Integration and onboarding. Integration and onboarding matter in any employment model, whether traditional hiring or staff augmentation. They help new people adapt to the company's culture and project workflows. In a staff augmentation model, providers may use tools such as automated onboarding systems to streamline that work. Compared with manual onboarding in conventional employment, these systems support tasks specific to augmented software development settings. They can help complete digital contracts, set up work accounts, distribute training modules, integrate systems, and send automated notifications about upcoming deadlines. During this phase, the provider's job is to ensure augmented employees are settled and familiar with the client's workflows so they can contribute immediately. Stage 4. Ongoing management and support. The process does not stop at onboarding. The provider's responsibilities continue through the middle and later stages of the project lifecycle. At this stage, providers set up open communication channels to deliver ongoing support throughout the engagement. Support may mean providing essential tools and hardware, or guidance on resolving issues. On the management side, the staffing firm may offer continuous training to help people develop their skills and evaluate performance on a regular basis to maintain operational efficiency. Best practices for an effective staff augmentation process. Staff augmentation is a tailored approach that takes into account a company's financial and operational strengths and limits when recommending talent. Still, certain practices help align the process with real project needs. Enforce confidentiality protocols. When external specialists join a project, they often need immediate access to sensitive components. A business that wants to protect intellectual property should put confidentiality agreements in place with the staffing agency. Those agreements should clearly define classified information, each party's responsibilities for safeguarding it, and the consequences of a data security violation. Thoroughly record your procedures. Everyone on the project, internal or external, should have access to the information they need to do their work well. Thorough process documentation is critical here. It supports knowledge transfer and consistent results, and it shortens the ramp-up period for newly hired personnel by helping them learn established protocols and workflows quickly. Implement tools for project management. Putting project and communication tools in place at the start of an engagement can improve performance and overall effectiveness. That matters especially when the work is remote. Platforms such as Jira, Trello, and Asana help team members communicate, track progress, and manage tasks across distance. They support transparency and accountability by giving everyone a clear view of milestones and schedules. Value the contributions of augmented staff. Recognizing strong performance can raise productivity and reinforce commitment to the work. That is especially important in staff augmentation, where people may feel detached because of the temporary nature of the role or their physical separation from the internal team. When to choose staff augmentation. Seasonal workload demands. Flexible staffing can be a strong fit for businesses in sectors with large seasonal swings, retail, tourism, and accounting among them. Because augmentation works well for intermittent needs, it may not make sense to keep a permanently larger workforce year-round just to cover vacations, tax season, or summer travel peaks. Working on specialized projects. One of the clearest uses of staff augmentation is specialized work that sits outside the organization's core competencies. Building a new mobile application, designing purpose-built software, or leading an artificial intelligence initiative may temporarily require skills the in-house team does not have. Unanticipated employment gaps. Instead of rushing to fill unexpected vacancies caused by resignation or absence, Organizations can use staff augmentation as a bridge. That gives them time to evaluate permanent candidates carefully and hire only the most qualified people into lasting roles. Developing novel initiatives. Augmentation also gives development teams flexibility until a project's viability is clear. Whether testing new offerings, entering new markets, or taking on meaningful business risk, organizations can explore new areas without a long-term hiring commitment. That can help avoid costly restructuring if an expansion effort or new product does not succeed. Closing takeaway. The staff augmentation process is designed to stay efficient across varied project scopes. It shines where traditional hiring struggles by speeding interviews, portfolio reviews, integration, and onboarding. Providers strengthen that advantage by delivering these capabilities at a lower cost than permanent hiring and in a scalable way that matches how software development actually works. If you'd like to learn more about software development, AI, cloud, data engineering, and digital transformation, visit us at softeller.com.